Welcome, everybody. Welcome to day 13 of Lent meditation. Uh, I'm glad to have you all joining at this time. So, yesterday we learned about loyalty, and today, while I was praying, I thought I must share on this topic of perseverance. Okay. I'd like to ask each one of you, or maybe some of you, on your understanding of perseverance. What do we all know or understand? Um, uh, understand. 1 minute. Yeah. What is perseverance? Shall we? I'd like to ask you guys. Who will go first? What is perseverance? Are we familiar with this?
Even if the result doesn't show immediately, but keep going at it, like keep
Uh-huh.
continuing something you're convicted of
Yeah,
until
continuing
you see the.
something we are convicted of. Very good. Anybody else? Continue.
Keep continuing your efforts at the same level, even if uh, there are any kind of even if you see any obstacles or difficulties, or even if in the natural you're not able to see whether the things are working, but still continuing uh,
Mhm.
with hope that yes, it will
Yeah.
work, not giving up hope.
Yeah, not giving up hope. Very good. Continuing to work even when we can't see things seem to be moving. We got to continue in our hope, or maybe I can call it as faith. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share? What do you guys understand by perseverance? What is perseverance? Anybody else? Steadfastness in spiritual journey. Very good. Yes, steadfastness in spiritual. Um, I want to also tell you guys that everything we do in the um, physical, okay, accounts to spiritual, everything, okay. There is a term called up, and down, okay. I'm going to explain to you one of these days how we are taught in churches to ascend into heaven, connecting with God as vertical connection, but at the same time, descend on the earth in the down. Okay, we should be able to do both. Okay, we can't only be living in the supernatural, everything has to translate into the physical on the earth, natural realm. Okay, that's a supernatural where we encounter God, where we experience His presence and we get empowered, and then that translates into manifestation for our day-to-day life. Okay, everything we talk is about living a practical life, and Sujata says consistent. Yes, consistent. Yes. Okay. So life is filled with challenges, right? For all of us, there's not a single person here who doesn't have challenges, including me, right? Life is filled with challenges, disappointments, and trials, okay? However, the Bible teaches us that the perseverance is necessary, okay? We've been talking about fulfilling God's will and finding our purpose, okay? And going after it, okay, to fulfill God's purpose in our lives, we need to have perseverance. Okay. James chapter 1, verses 2 to 4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith, okay, testing of your faith produces perseverance. Okay, without testing, without going through trials and tribulations, without going through challenges, we may not be able to have that kind of sustenance or perseverance. Continue to keep going. Okay. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Okay. Like I've been saying, it's very easy for us to think that, oh, why me? Why am I going through this situation? Why not others, right? And why this has to happen to me? I've seen some people saying that way, why have you closed your eyes and ears to me, God? Why are you not hearing my prayers? Many times we some point in time we might have felt like that, right? So God is not sadistic, okay? And he's not a sadist God. And many times we don't know how to process difficult situations, and we tend to outsource it to our spouses, children, parents, or anybody outside, or to God himself. Okay. But I want to encourage you guys that the maturity, okay, well, its perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Okay, there are a couple of things. One is that when we talk about the teachings in our life, we always tend to reflect and continue to transform ourselves rather than pointing fingers at anybody or outsourcing to anyone else, including God. But we continue to transform ourselves. It's a work in progress. All of us are work in progress, right? And the trials and tribulations really make us more stronger. Okay. And even when, like some of you said, even when we don't see things moving in the natural, but God is behind everything. Okay. And also we need to remember that perseverance really makes us mature and complete. Okay. It's only when our faith is tested, okay, it produces perseverance. Okay. It's not about it's not about just enduring. Okay, this thing has come to me, let me suffer endlessly. It's not about it. It's about growing in faith, trusting in God, and depending on the strength from the Lord. Okay, so let's see why it is important and how we can cultivate it. So now you might say, yes, everything is so easy to talk about, but you don't know exactly what I am going through. You might say that. Yeah, let me tell you guys that we go through it every day. There is no degree of comparison, but each one takes their own cross, and it's taking the cross and walking this Christian life in faith. Okay, taking the cross means persevering and crucifying our flesh, complete dependence on God, taking support from the community, depending on the leaders, okay, for advice and prayers. Okay, everything is compounding effect. And that's how we can walk in the midst of trials and tribulations and come out as manifest sons of God. That's my favorite word. That's why I keep using it. We grow mature in the Lord. Okay. So perseverance is the ability to keep going in the midst of challenges, difficulties, delays in achieving success. Okay. According to the knowledge, the limited knowledge or information that we have, and the effort that we put in, our expectation for every outcome is so different. Okay. Many times we really don't want to wait. We really don't believe that the delay should be there. Okay. I'm not saying that the purposeful delay, but do we have patience and are we persevering in faith, going through all the challenges, yet trusting in God and depending on the strength that gives us? Okay. It is a matter of refusing to quit. Now, we heard a beautiful example. Some of you joined late, but we heard a beautiful example from Rajesh. It was really moving when we started praying in tongues a few days ago. I was really moved when I heard Rajesh that he's been trying for a job for last 6 months, and he had to borrow money from brother-in-law and a lot of difficulties. I've seen him faithfully attending all the meetings, be it in his church or be here, but continuing. There is nothing visible right in front of him. Okay, 6 months staying and then keep trying, but nothing is visible in the natural. Okay, one can easily give up, or one can easily get addicted to something, even if it is like just scrolling through Instagram reels or watching some videos or just complaining like Israelites. Okay, but I believe he just kept pushing through. Okay, in the midst of challenges and difficulties. Okay, it's not an easy thing, guys, and the journey was very hard. Okay, but the ability, he persevered through. Just one example I'm saying, I'm sure all of us have gone through difficulties and we have persevered, and that's the reason you all are here, right? You all are having, I do believe that you all have perseverance. Okay, and that's why you are making an effort on a weekday. You're making an effort to come and join this Zoom call at 9:30 in the night. You could have been relaxing, you could have been watching something, you could have been doing something else, but you want to really go after God. You really want to grow in maturity. You really want to learn the word. You want to feel and be part of the community. Okay, you really want to persevere in faith, and that's the reason you guys are here, right? So it's very closely linked with faith, endurance, and trusting in God's timing and promises. Okay, many times we are in desperate situations. We want things to happen yesterday, like okay, and but we get sometimes really frustrated. But it's okay. God will take care of us. Okay, in some way or the other, God will take care of us. Okay. Now I want to share one example from the Bible. Okay, Job. Job is one of the greatest examples of perseverance in the Bible. Okay, Job was a very wealthy man. He lost his wealth, he lost his children, he lost his health. Okay, yet in Job chapter 13, verse 15, he says, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Yesterday we spoke about Abraham. Okay, how he was so loyal, how he was so faithful to God, that God had promised him to make him as the father of nations. So he was very loyal, faithful. He just went ahead and did what God asked him to do. Okay, now Job is saying, though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. Despite immense suffering, Job did not turn away from God. Okay, instead, he said, his friend said, curse God and die. Okay, what a thing to do. He remained faithful, and in the end, God restored everything he had lost and more than that. Okay, and that is the promise I want to, as I'm speaking, I'm led to share this. This is the word that I want to share with you guys. If you are in the midst of having lost something, some sudden disruption, some disturbances come in your business, or some interruptions or some challenges have come, okay, while you're walking in this life, there could have been um, some sort of challenges, some unexpected, what do you call, loss, or loss in terms of health, or wealth, or career opportunities, or anything, doesn't matter. Okay, God is, as you continue to persevere in faith, okay, God is going to restore everything that you had lost and much more than that. I want to release that word over you guys. Okay, so Job had a loss of possessions. Okay, his vast wealth, including livestock, servants, everything was taken away. He lost his children, and he was afflicted with painful boils from head to toe. Okay, and but nothing seemed to work. One could always ask, where are you, God? Why is these things are happening? Okay, he wrestled with God's silence and questioned his suffering. Okay, despite his trials, but Job really remained faithful. Okay, he was faithful, and God restored everything. Okay, everything in more than what he could imagine. Okay, or believe. Now, why is perseverance so important? Okay, you might ask me, why should I be persevering? Okay, it seems so difficult, but Chitra, you don't understand what I'm going through. You really don't understand how long that question comes. Okay, even I have that question in some places where I'm Sam, when Pastor Sam and I discuss couple of things we ask, but then we say, let's trust in God's timing, let's trust in God's promises, let's just keep moving forward. Okay, and perseverance leads to God's promise. Okay, Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 says, you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Okay, definitely you will receive God's promise. Okay, after a season of waiting and endurance, if you really don't jump in and try to control and do things our way, or turn away from the situation, do something else, or give up, God's promises cannot be fulfilled because we have taken control over and we didn't allow God to work in the situation. Okay, and also perseverance, it really produces character. It really builds our character. Okay, how much are we able to bear? When you see people not cooperating, when you see things are not happening, when you don't have funds, and when your health is affected, do you still have faith to continue to believe in the promises of God? Okay, so Romans chapter 5 verse 3 to 4 says, not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. Okay, so suffering produces perseverance, perseverance really building up as a son of God, daughter of God, with a character. Okay, and character and builds hope. Okay, just as gold is refined in fire. Okay, perseverance shapes us and strengthens us in God. Okay, so, and also if we persevere, it really takes us closer to God, crucifying our flesh. God, what do I have? I have nothing but complete dependence on you. Okay. Psalms chapter 34, verse 17 to 18 says, the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. We feel very close to God. I mean, I know how, I'm sure many of you would agree with me. When we are so crushed, when we don't see anything around us, nothing seems to work. That's the time we really feel when you go to God and cry out to Him. Okay, the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. Okay, Lord, I have complete dependency on you, nothing else. Okay, and I'm going to surrender completely into you, oh Lord, and deliver me from my troubles. It's a very good place to even self-reflect and then completely surrender to God. Okay, and in that struggle, we experience the depth of God's presence that engulfs us. Okay. So having said that, okay, you might ask, okay, fine. These are why perseverance is important, because it leads us to believe in God's will and his promises. Okay. Another thing is it produces character and hope, and it brings us closer to God. Okay. Now, how do we cultivate it? Okay. We need to believe in God's promises, believe in the word. Like Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Okay. And another promise I want to read for you guys, stay focused on Jesus. Okay. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 to 2. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. Okay. Jesus endured the cross. Okay. And he is our great example. Okay. He kept his eyes on his mission, right? And finding strength in prayer. Okay. We can go to the Lord and we can pray. We have so many tools now. You can pray in tongues. You can use the prayer cards. You can do ledger entry. And there was some kind of a injustice that happened to us 2-3 days ago, and that was really shocking. Shocking to me and Sam, and we decided that we will put a ledger entry and ask God for justice. Okay, rather than venting it out or backlashing or doing something else, we said, okay, you know our heart, you know what's happening in our life. So immediately I went into Tohuwabohu and kind of trying to disentangle from that situation. And we put a ledger entry immediately. And I asked for God's justice. After that, peace of mind settled. And I'm sure justice will be done for us. Okay. So finding strength in prayer. And then I also was praying in tongues. Okay. Praying in tongues really, we have spoken about it many times. It really helps you speak in a language, okay, to be able to get aligned with the God's will, okay. And it also enables you to protect yourself, shield yourself from all the forces of the enemy around you, okay. And so we prayed in tongues, and many times just before we go on a mission trip or any big meetings, anything, there will be some sort of challenges, okay. And that is where our faith is tested. How much we are standing for the people, how much we are aligned with in our commitment to serve God's people. Are we able to disentangle from everything and still be able to you know share the word and pray for people in the midst of our own circumstances? That's where we are tested, right? And that's what is making us grow mature. Okay. So so it's very important for us to be surrounded with people who really encourage us. Okay. I want you guys to check who are your friends. Okay. Are they encouraging you or discouraging you or making you feel guilty and condemned? Be very careful that you got to surround yourself with people. Some may be weaker in faith, but you got to know what to share, with whom to share, and how to process things. Okay. Because Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 to 25 says, let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together. And this is one of the main reasons that you got to come together, be it online, offline, doesn't matter. Okay, you get your strength, you get encouraged. Okay, and I'm going to also talk about why the coming together as a community is so important. I've already spoken, but I'm going to re-emphasize on that very soon. Okay, so fellowship and encouragement from other believers, like Rajesh was saying today, that his friend Praveen went with him. Okay, both the brothers are not having job, but one goes for an interview, the other one joins. Okay, and rather than feeling victimized, oh, this person's got an interview, you're going to get the job, what about me, what about me, what about me? Okay, could have asked like that, but he said, okay, let me, if God is so faithful to bless Rajesh with an interview and a job, the same God is going to be faithful to me, and I have the capability to walk into that breakthrough, or maybe more than that. Okay, when I'm happy for my brother rather than being jealous or rather than being victimized. Am I happy? Okay. So if you feel that you belong to this community and you believe that this is the body of Christ, okay, when you are happy, when other people's breakthrough comes, then you have the capability to walk into that same miracle. Okay, because it's one body. Okay, we are different parts, right? So fellowship and encouragement from other believers really helps us stay strong in faith. Okay, so today we are going to pray in tongues. While I was sharing this word, I felt that many of you need, it might sound cliche, but many of you need that kind of perseverance to keep going, need that motivation, need that encouragement. So it's 10:04 now. Till 10:15, we will pray in tongues. All of us will pray in tongues, okay? And that's going to be massive collective energy, okay? So I want you guys to unmute and pray in tongues, okay? And let God's will happen in your life, all right? I'm going to put the timer and let's start praying. Is that okay? Can you give me a thumbs up?
Yes, Chitra.
Okay. Let's